Hello everybody, back again with another video. Hope you're doing well. Hope your life's going well. Hope this week has gone well for you, and I hope that today has gone well for you. Today is Thursday, May the 9th, 2024. It is about 8:30 a.m. Central Standard Time. And since I'm going to be uploading this in the evening, I hope you had a great Thursday. I hope that it was a productive day. And of course, I hope that it was a stress-free day. Today is Thursday. You made it through Thursday. All you got to do is make it through Friday. And the weekend will be here. That'll be your time to unwind. It'll be your time to relax and just live happily on those 2 days. And it'll be your time to work on your goals, work on your dreams, right? Because you go to this job 5 days a week, you give the big corporation your time, efforts, and energy. Why not take the weekend, take the time that you have off to better yourself, to put yourself in a better financial position, right? So, yeah. As for me, I'm doing good. I slept well last night. I go to work here in a little bit. Same old, same old. Nothing too out of the ordinary. Nothing really too out of the ordinary. But what I am doing, right? And what I challenge you to do is to not eat out for 1 month, right? Try to go 1 month without eating out. Eating out is expensive, right? Eating out nowadays, we talk about the price of everything being expensive, but one area that you can improve in is not eating out. You can buy pretty much all your ingredients at the grocery store and prepare the food yourself at home. Cook at home the old-fashioned way, the way that we used to do things. Cooking at home. With the rise of all these different processed foods and fast foods and instant cooked meals, all that stuff's expensive. This fast food, everything's expensive. So I do challenge you to go 1 month without eating out. Watch at the end of the month how much more money you'll have saved. You'll see. I'm in the process of doing it myself. It's just something I thought of. I said, you know what? Chipotle taking all my money. And so I was like, nah, let me try this. So, if I need something, I'll just go to the grocery store and buy it. But I definitely won't eat out. I'll probably give you all an update at the end of the month how I'm doing, though. Right? As far as that, did I fall off? Did I make it the whole month without eating out? We shall see. But I also want to talk about why you should have an emergency savings. You need between 3 and 6 months of expenses saved. At least that's what most experts say. The reason why you need an emergency savings is simple. You just never know what can happen. As far as your job, as far as whatever income source you're using to pay your bills, feed your family, keep a roof over your head, you just don't know what can happen to that income source. You could lose it, right? You could lose it. You can get fired from a job. You can get laid off from a job. You could get hurt on a job, right? You need 3 to 6 months of expenses saved. It's very important. Now, if you're somebody like me, doesn't have a family, have an apartment, not a whole ton of bills outside of rent, right? You may not need as much money in that 3 to 6 months savings account, emergency fund savings account, basically. But if you're somebody that has a family, you have a wife, you have kids, you're going to need a lot more money in that savings account because your expenses are higher, right? You're going to have higher, your rent or mortgage is probably going to be higher because you're going to have a bigger place because you have a family. Your light bill is probably going to be more, right? Still have to buy or be able to afford food for your whole family. So expense wise, it's just going to cost more, which means you need to have more money in your emergency fund, right? I encourage you, start that emergency fund today if you don't have one. 3 to 6 months of expenses, right? You just don't know what can happen out here. We see the direction that society is going in. If you're working in certain fields, I would worry about being laid off. Tech field, right? Other fields that are laying off, that are downsizing their operations, that are moving towards AI. I'd be worried about my future if I was working in some of these industries. That's why it's so important to have that emergency stash. If you don't have an emergency stash, you get laid off from your job, you get fired from your job, whether it's for performance, whether it's for anything, you get fired. How are you going to pay your bills? Say you're living paycheck to paycheck, how are you going to pay your bills? As soon as you get fired, you're going to be behind on your bills, on your mortgage, on your rent. You're going to be on the verge of eviction, you and your family. You don't have no emergency fund. You don't have that safety cushion of funds to mitigate that time between you losing your job and you perhaps finding another job, hopefully better. It gets real out here. These layoffs, everything getting expensive. Gotta take life seriously. They say the average American only has $1,000 in savings. Or actually no, didn't they say less? The average American has less than $1,000 saved. You have a whole family and you don't have $1,000 saved, that's a big problem. And you need to be prioritizing saving over a lot of things. If you have a family but no money in savings, what are you gonna do if you lose that job? or that job is your sole income, right? Hopefully it's a job that requires some sort of skill or certification or license or something like that. Hopefully you're not working a job that's bad and you have a family, right? Because let's be real, if you're making good money, it will be easier to build up this savings account. But if you have a family and you're working a job that's not so good, it'll probably be harder to build up this emergency fund savings. Got to take life seriously. I know you can do it. I know you can do it if you're disciplined enough. If you're working towards a skill, a trade, some sort of job that's in demand, or you're going the entrepreneur route, the business owner route. You're building up your business. You still need to have an emergency savings account, right? You still need to have savings in general. You have a family, right? You don't want to be evicted from your apartment because you can't pay the rent because you didn't have no money saved. You spent every dime you had. You don't want your house to go into foreclosure because you can't afford to pay the mortgage. You don't want your car to be repossessed because you can't afford the car note. Do you really want these things to happen? As someone with a family, it can be quite embarrassing, right? You can't afford to provide for your family. You can't afford to provide for your kids. Put food on the table. You can't afford it. So you didn't have a savings account, an emergency fund. Emergency savings. Sorry. But you didn't have it. You didn't have it. We shouldn't glorify money, but we should have money because money is a tool to build a foundation of success, right? You're going to need money to retire. You're going to need money to keep a roof over your head. Why aren't we taking having an emergency fund more seriously? People talk about, oh, you need an emergency fund. Well, it's time to get serious and actually start it. So if you don't have one, I want you to start today. Start today. Right? Start that emergency fund. That's what I want you to do. Like I say, it can be quite alarming. You get laid off out of nowhere because, like I say, a lot of these corporations, they'll lay you off out of nowhere. Right out of nowhere. One day your key card to get into the building has been deactivated, so now you can't get in the building. You're wondering how you gonna get your stuff out the building, and you find out you just got laid off because the company is downsizing. They're moving towards AI, and you didn't know it until the day of because they decided not to communicate that with you. It's quite ridiculous. And I think, honestly, companies should be more honest about, okay, we're in a bad financial position. We might be laying off. So start looking for a job today. That's the right thing to do. Because they know when these departments are going to be downsizing. These departments are going to be eliminated completely. Like your job is being eliminated for AI. They know that that's the ultimate plan far in advance. They don't tell you until the day of. So now you're scrambling. But if you have an emergency savings, at least you have an emergency savings, because you can hold over for 3 to 6 months, preferably 6 months. Preferably you have 6 months of expenses saved, right? Start that emergency fund. That's what I want you to do. Anyway, y'all, I gotta get to work here. I really hope that you enjoyed this video, and I hope that this video has relaxed you, of course, and I hope that it's inspired a thought, right? Think about it. An emergency fund. Think about how crucial that's going to be. Say you get fired from your job for work performance or something like that. You're still going to need it. Even if you're getting unemployment is usually not enough. You need that savings account. You need that emergency savings. But yeah, thank you for watching.